Here with Basmati.com and my sidekick Milo there, who likes to be in my videos. And so this week I'm going to talk just briefly about using essential oils. And so just some aromatherapy basics, because they're immensely popular and for good reason. They're really fun to use. They smell good, not always, but many of them smell good. And they can be good medicine when used appropriately. And so I have my bottle of vetiver here that I buy from my aromatherapy teacher. I tend to really like some of the heavy, more grounding oils. But oils can be used for a variety of reasons. Emotional support is a great one. Essential oils can be calming or uplifting, or often both. Some are actually quite strong sedatives, like ylang ylang, for instance, although they're complicated because sometimes herbs that are sedating can also be stimulating depending on the dose. Again, ylang ylang as an example of that. Oils can be great for physical support. So for instance, if you have a skin infection, properly diluted oils can be helpful for that. Of course, keep an eye on that and go to your doctor if it doesn't get any better within a day or two or look like it's improving. But that said, oils can be really great topically when diluted. They can be useful for a whole variety of other issues. Respiratory infection, breathing them in as a steam, just as another example. I want to get more into kind of how to use them. And so a couple of things I do want to address just off the top involve oil safety. And so something that's gotten really popular over the past several years is to maybe daily put a drop or two of essential oil in a glass of water and drink it. Don't do that. It's actually not a very good idea. Many oils, especially some of the ones like lemon that are taken in that way, are actually skin irritants and mucous membrane irritants. And oil does not dissolve in water, so it's just kind of floating in your water. And when you drink it, it's just going to stick to the first mucous membrane it encounters. And if you do it repeatedly, that can cause a problem in terms of the health of those mucous membranes. I don't really recommend people dose internally with essential oils unless working with a trained clinical aromatherapist. So not a sales rep, but somebody that's actually a practitioner. Now in France, it's a fairly regular practice to use oils internally, again, under the supervision of a clinical practitioner, but they don't put it in water. They do it in a way that makes sense in terms of the oil's chemistry. And so sometimes it's dripped onto a sugar cube, or it's mixed with oil and encapsulated and taken in that way, but they're not vitamins, so they're not really meant to be dosed orally long-term. As health support, really, oral dosing is typically used by an aromatherapist for an acute issue for a limited amount of time. And another thing is that often it's the whole herb itself that has the full effect of that herb. So what I mean by that, for instance, is something like, let's just come back to lemon. The essential oil is wonderful. It's one of my favorite aromas in aromatherapy, those great citrus oils. Its benefits for the liver, for instance. So this is one reason why people drink lemon oil, is for the liver. Really, the flavonoids and other chemicals in lemon that are great for the liver are actually in the juice and the peel and the pulp, not really in the oil so much. And so the best medicine in terms of taking lemon in internally is taking in lemon, not concentrated lemon essential oil. So essential oils don't always equal 100% the medicine of the plant. In some cases, with particular plants, the oils do make up most of the medicine, but not always. Another thing to just be careful with oils is not to put them on your skin undiluted. It's not like your skin's going to explode, but a lot of oils can be sensitizing. Some can even cause chemical burns. And even if you're using them topically, your liver ultimately still has to deal with the oils. And so undiluted topical use over the long term can be problematic for the liver. And it takes a while, just like overindulgence in alcohol can take a while to cause a problem with the liver, so can overuse of essential oil. It's not something that crops up overnight. And the thing is these oils are so strong, you don't really need to use them undiluted. And they can be pretty expensive. And so it's better to just dilute them, and then your oil will last longer and your liver will not be worked as hard, and you are at a reduced risk of skin sensitization. I know one person, for instance, who was using tea tree oil neat for athlete's foot, and this person is now sensitized to it, even though this was, you know, a decade or two ago when she was doing that. She can't go near tea tree oil now. And the problem when you become sensitive to an oil is that any of the components within that essential oil that you're sensitive to, they may be in other oils. And so you can wind up sensitive to more than one essential oil. And, you know, a little really does go a long way. If you take rose, for instance, a very expensive oil. Technically, it's called an absolute. It's extracted differently than an essential oil is. But rose, it takes somewhere on the order of 50 rose flowers to make 1 drop of that essential oil. So very concentrated. Even though oils are natural, they're very, very strong. So, you know, just use a little for your needs, whether you're inhaling it or using them topically. And so just some handy dilutions for topical use, whether you just want a good smelling body lotion or cream, or you have an injury or what have you. If you are making an all over, say a massage oil or a body cream, you want to use anywhere from about 4 to 8 drops or so per ounce of that carrier, whether that carrier is a lotion or a cream you've made yourself, or say you've gone out and bought a natural lotion or cream and you're spiking it with oils, or if you're just putting it in something like almond oil or what have you. 5 to 8 drops per ounce is a pretty good range to stay in for something that you're going to be rubbing all over your body every day. And for massage therapists, I would say even go lower, simply because you're handling that all day long with clients. And then for, say, a large area, but not all over your body, say you need something for a back rub or your leg or what have you, you know, something's going on with a pulled muscle, I'll usually use 10 to 15 drops per ounce for sort of applying to large areas, and so per ounce of carrier. For, say, an injury, a joint like your elbow or your knee, I might use 15 to 20 drops or so per ounce of an essential oil or an essential oil blend. And then for really small things, say you've got a wart that you're trying to treat, maybe 40 drops or so of that oil, 40 to 50 drops per ounce. And I go higher in essential oil concentration if I'm making a perfume. They can be quite strong, but you know, when you use a perfume, you're putting a tiny little drop on. And so I recognize that I'm maybe on perhaps the conservative side of the spectrum when it comes to oil usage, but this is coming out of a background in science and chemistry. And so, you know, my take on oil dilutions and such are based on physiology and oil chemistry and interactions. And a great resource to look at for essential oil safety and uses and such is Robert Tizerain's website. So if you just type in Tisserand, you will find him. And he has a wealth of information on his site. Aromaweb.com is another online resource I like to use. And I also love the writings of one of my teachers, Kathy Cavill. And so I have her books as well. And there are, you know, there are a number of great aromatherapists out there to look to for information. And then an organization, NAHA, N as in Nancy, AHA, let's see, the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapists. I'm terrible with acronyms. That's another great source to look to for information. And, you know, use your oils, enjoy them. They are a wonderful way to support ourselves and to make our day that much brighter, but just be careful with them so that you can use them for years and years and years without any problem. And let's see, anything else I want to mention there? I think I will leave you with that. So use your oils, not too much, not 24 hours a day, but do enjoy them. Take care. Until next time.